gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining our show. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am your host. I am Stephanie Hockenhall. And joining me is my son, my co-host, Gene Williams.
Good day, mates. Top of the morning to you. How you doing out there? All right, man.
Hey!
How you doing now?
50, 50, 50.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not calling the police. I am saying 50 because this is episode 50. Y'all, we in this piece, okay?
Yeah. What?
Oh, shoot. We are so excited to be here today to share some information with you. We have some goodies for you today. And we're always acting silly. That's just what we do. That's how we roll. I don't even see you were able to share the page.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to fix it on this device in just a minute. But yeah, again, we are here. This is episode 50.
50, baby.
And we have been talking about emotions, dealing with your emotions, managing your emotions, addressing your emotions, checking your emotions.
Show up in the body.
Yes. Where the emotions lie, go ahead, in your body, how they are affected negatively. So that's some of the stuff we've been talking about.
Yep. If you want to hear about it, go back to the last episode. Go to the left and check it out.
Thank you for for joining us. If you are here, we are asking that you share our Facebook page, and we are also asking that you can join us here on Facebook Live. If you're here, you already know that. You can join us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Love Misunderstood Institute, or Premier Fitness 0210. And that is Gene's Facebook page, YouTube channel. Also, you can join us on TV. We are on TV right now. Y'all check us out on Roku and Amazon Fire. That is where we are right now, live on TV. If you're here on Facebook, if you're here on YouTube, please join in on the conversation. Add whatever you want to add, ask questions, talk to us. Let's join in on the conversation with us to discuss the things that are happening concerning bullying. You want to add anything?
No, I'm ready to roll.
Okay, so today we are going back to sharing information about bullying. Why are we doing this? I'm glad you asked. We are doing this because I have talked to so many people, adults, that say adults don't bully, kids bully. I beg your pardon.
Please.
Lies. Adults do bully. As a matter of fact, most of my bullying has happened to me as an adult. I didn't understand for many, many years that's what I was experiencing. But now that I understand that and I know that, I'm aware of it, I talk about it. We teach about it. I educate myself about it and how different things happening in our lives tie into bullying. So y'all, we got to bring it out. We gonna so today we're gonna talk about we're gonna define bullying because bullying is not just people being mean to you. That's what I thought. Why in the heck are people so doggone mean? What is their problem? I don't understand. So what'd you say?
He said, "Yeah, people are peopling out there."
That's for sure. Is Gene being mean to you? No, he's not.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, Governor.
Oh shoot. So we are going to Gene, you're not allowed to be mean. That's what Mark said. So be nice to me.
I'm being nice to my mom. Anybody else can get it though. Anybody else, you're getting put on notice right now.
Okay. So if you would start while I get my devices and stuff together, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. All right. So first off, again, she said that we're going to go back to talking about bullying and making it very clear what it is. So, what does bullying mean? It is unwanted, controlling, forceful behavior towards others that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. Bullying behaviors do happen repeatedly in all age ranges, starting at toddlers, seeking to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable or weak, whatever that means. So we're going to go a little further, a little more detail for you. We're going to talk about types of bullies, and that's very important, or types of bullying mechanisms, or however you want to say it. All right, so first and foremost, this is the one that we know, physical, which is hitting, tripping, and blocking you from going somewhere, pushing, and other forms of aggressive physical intimidation. We know about those people in high school and smaller, push you around. Give me that toy. That's my toy.
Yeah.
Mine, I brought it. It's mine. All right. So they say sticks and stones may break your bones, but I'm of the belief or of the knowledge that words leave the longest stain and injury on the person's psyche. So verbal bullying, talking negatively about someone, for example, their weight, race, sexuality, culture, religion, name calling, and etc. Teasing, cursing, shouting, spreading rumors and lies, or gossip. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, you listen. Let me tell you what happened down the street the other day. Yeah, you ought to know they about to start gossip.
Right.
Putting others down, telling mean jokes, using racial slurs, sexual harassment, talk, and religious slander. All right, so next is social. Excluding from groups or sharing information important to you or for you. Ignoring or leaving someone out on purpose, spreading rumors about someone, destroying relationships and friendships, embarrassing someone in public, telling lies or stories about someone to make others not like them. Lord. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. I'm JJ. Dynamite.
Dynamite.
I'm a Negro Gilligan.
Every time I see you with that hat on, that's the first thing I think is Gilligan. Mark said, Mark said, where's your paintbrush?
Right, exactly. Hey, come on now, listen. Put my hand on my hip like JJ and start doing all this. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. I'm gonna bring it back in. Bring it in. All right. All right.
You want me to go or you got it?
I can do this one. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Antisocial bullying, which involves shunning, excluding, gossiping, mimicking, spreading rumors, using offensive gestures, and negative nonverbal body language. Oh yeah. I mean, there's levels to this game, people.
Yep.
There are levels to it.
And I want to interject. We have talked about nonverbal body language on one of our shows. So go back through our videos and you'll see they're labeled. And so you will see the one that says nonverbal body language. Yes, that is bullying too.
Oh yeah.
So
Like, dude, I'm just trying to talk, okay? Come over here and give me a bagel, okay? Where the cream cheese at?
So, cyberbullying is a big one, and it is time to do a class on cyberbullying because kids are out of school. It's about time for them to go back to school. But what's been happening while they're out of school? I mean, they're spending more time on social media. Things are happening in our area and not far from me. And I was surprised that it happened not far from me because of how quiet this area is. But not far from me, earlier this week, teenagers shot each other. 2 boys. One came out of his apartment complex, out of his apartment, and some others came in a truck, came in an SUV. And they came by, and this, boy came outside there, 15, 16, 17 years old, came outside to meet them. And they supposedly, the guys in the truck, because there was more than one in the SUV. So the one got out of the SUV. Anyway, they ended up shooting each other. And there were 10 bullets that the cops found out in the area. But this is why that happened, because they had beef. Seriously.
Right.
People just don't fight anymore. People shoot, and people shoot to kill. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, using the gun, likely 9 times out of 10, regardless if you shoot them in the big toe, they're gonna die. I mean, when you shoot a gun, you're looking to kill someone. So that's why there's such major charges based around using a gun or brandishing a gun when you're not supposed to.
Right.
So, I mean, we are way more intelligent, and
should
as a
be
society, yeah, to use our words. I mean, come on, let's grow up as a society.
Yeah.
As a culture.
Yeah, so cyberbullying, I don't know if that's how that got started, but it reminded me of that because so many people spend so much time on social media. And like I said, right now, what do the kids have to do but spend time on social media? Right. So, and people find it so easy to go to social media to put somebody down and to talk about people negatively, to bully. That's what they're doing. When you're talking negatively about somebody, that is bullying, whether it's on social media or face-to-face. It's verbal bullying. Gene just read it. Yep. So cyberbullying, sending mean and negative emails, texts, and social media posts. Sexting. I don't hear much about this anymore, but with all the things going on, I'm sure it has not stopped.
Oh yeah, I mean now it's just in your DMs. You go to your DM and you see pictures of someone's private parts, and you didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for that.
Yeah,
I didn't ask for
that. So sending nude pictures of someone or yourself to others is what sexting is. So mental, they bully by name calling, yelling at you, insults, threats, imitates, mocks, ignores you. That's isolate. That's what they call icing out. That's isolating you. And excludes from meaningful events or activities.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
This is another one that's big to me as emotional bullies. People having fits. Interrupting you to get their way, accusing you, blaming, yelling, screaming, punish, seek revenge, and threatening. They use their emotions to control you and the situation. So if I don't want you correcting me or, you know, getting with me because I'm, you doing something I don't want you to do. So I'm gonna throw a fit because I want to get my way. So that's an emotional bully.
And that's what children do. That's what babies do. I can't have my head fall on the ground and kick and scream until you either you walk over them and ignore and be like, you know what, when you get done,
Yep.
Or okay, I'm sorry, sweetie. Here, you can have whatever. Yeah, that's manipulation. That's definitely bullying.
Yep. And so if you're an adult and you're doing that, guess what? You are an immature adult. Stop it.
And an emotional bully.
Stop it. So, and then, spank yourself. Spank yourself.
Harder. Don't make you listen. You do it harder. I'm gonna come do it for you.
Yep. All right. So sometimes sometimes bullying is subtle, so you don't even realize that's what's happening to you. And so we'll mention that too. So direct bullies, it occurs between the people involved. So me and Jean are bullying each other, hitting, kicking, making insults, being in offensive and sneering comments or threats. So we're in each other's presence and we're doing that stuff to each other. That's direct bullying. That's happened directly to the two people that are right there involved. Then there's indirect bullying, mostly inflicts harm by damaging another social reputation by spreading rumors and gossiping behind your back, peer relationships, and self-esteem. Because that person is not right there and you're talking about them negatively and you're spreading rumors about them or you're gossiping about them, that is indirect bullying because the person is not right there in your presence.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we talked about in a past episode, talked about flying monkeys.
Yep.
This is how you recruit.
Yep.
By indirect bullying, you go to a group of people that know the person that you're talking about and try to damage their reputation to the people without even giving them an opportunity to defend themselves, and you recruit other people to help you bully them.
Yeah,
man, that's woo, Lord, flying monkey. I'm gonna get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
Yep, that's how the witch sounded too. So you go with the secondary or relational.
Yeah. All right. So relational bullying is a sneaky, subtle way, but with harmful effects. Also referred to as emotional bullying, a type of social manipulation.
Yep.
You'll hear that word a lot as it pertains to discussing bullying and narcissistic personality disorder, BPD, all of that good stuff. Females tend to use this type of bullying more than males. Did you hear that, ladies?
Yep.
All right. Secondary bullying does not initiate the bullying, but joins in so that they do not become a target down the road. Man, so I got to say myself. So I'm gonna get you.
Yep.
May feel bad about what they are doing, but are more concerned about protecting themselves, i.e., self-preservation, survival of the fittest.
Yep.
Lord, this one right here. Narcissistic bullying. Lord. All right. Self-centered. They must feel the need for power and control. They do not share empathy with others, nor do they care about others.
Right.
Everyone else for a narcissistic bully is a tool and a mechanism to get what they desire.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
They can tell you they love you and they can love bomb you for a minute, but as soon as you give in, that love is going to decrease and they're going to keep, it's like a drug. Oh, they gave me some attention. Let me do some more. And then all of a sudden you ain't getting that attention no more. So I'm going to do more to get some attention. That's how it goes.
Right.
It's like a drug addiction in a lot of ways.
And so he mentioned love bombing to those that are listening. We talked about love bombing on a show. as well. So go back. Yep, go back, and you'll see it labeled love bombing, because just a little bit what love bombing is. Gene, go ahead.
So love bombing is with ulterior motives, raining a lot of love and attention on someone that you seek to use later on as a mechanism of control for someone else. So, for instance, if you're going through a situation where there's a split in the relationship and you have a child that's on one side of it, then that parent shows a lot of attention, love, buys things for them, basically tries to buy their affection.
Yep.
And then, as soon as that child begins to portray what that person wants, then they start pulling back their love and attention from the person doing the act, or the child in this instant. And that continues to the point where the child is doing a whole bunch of things to get the attention from that parent, and that parent is like, I don't care about you. You did what I'm asking you to do.
Yep.
And then every once in a while they do a little something to reel you back in. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, they falling off. So now let me reel them back in. All right, hey girl, let's do this. Oh, okay. What you want me to do now? What you want me to do now? You always got ulterior motives, man.
Right. So yeah, go ahead.
Got to do big eyes on them. Got to do big eyes on them.
You're scaring me. So y'all go back and watch that one, because we gave a lot of information on that show about love bombing. It's a mess, but narcissists are something. So go ahead.
All right. So next is impulsive bullying. They are spontaneous. Their bullying is not planned, even if consequences are likely. They have a hard time restraining from bullying behaviors. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a narcissist.
Yeah.
Because they don't plan. I mean, some of them do.
Yeah.
They also is spontaneous, and it's like they don't have any emotional maturity and emotional control. And we talked about that actually. One of the shows discussing emotional intelligence and the ability to assess your emotions and what they stem from, as opposed to lashing out at someone because you're going through something. You have to realize, okay, is this issue or this anger that I'm feeling actually this person that I'm lashing out at, or is it something I'm dealing with and they're just the face?
Yes.
I'm bleeding on or vomiting on.
Yep.
Emotionally and energetically.
Right.
All right. I was there. I was already there. All right. Next is overt bullying, which involves physical action or observable verbal actions, i.e. shouting, swearing at constantly, humiliating or ridiculing others, belittling them in front of others, persistent criticism or sarcasm.
And people love to belittle other people because it makes them feel bigger, even though they're not bigger, but it makes them feel like the bigger person because they're putting down someone else. See, I told you, subtle bullying. You don't even know it's happening. You know that's not how you want to feel when somebody is bullying you, but it is subtle.
Yeah. I mean, anything that you do to put someone else down, how do you feel like that made you better?
Yeah.
I never understood that. I'm gonna put you down because that makes me feel. Really? Do you really feel better, or is that just an excuse?
Yeah.
It's an excuse to me.
Yep.
A person who is truly happy with themselves doesn't have to put anyone else down to feel better about themselves.
Right.
It's a weak-minded person who puts someone down to, quote unquote, feel better about themselves.
Yep.
That's a weak-minded disease there.
Yep.
Covert? Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I see this all the time. Yep. It happens all the time. It's just a matter of knowing what it is. So, once you hear it, then you know, like you hear these different types of bullying, then you can recognize it. You can identify when it happens. Oh, I see what they're doing. You know, I see you, you know. So go ahead.
No,
That's
I'm
why
doing
we do this, because it's to help you recognize and identify, recognize that it is bullying and identify the type of bullying that it is. And then we also share in different ways of how to deal with it when it happens to you. So covert bullying.
All right. So, covert bullying is usually intentionally hidden or hard for others to see. For example, spreading rumors, threatening, blackmailing, stealing friends, breaking secrets, gossiping, criticizing clothes and personalities, taking credit for other people's work, but never take the blame when things go wrong. Ooh, yeah. Subject targets to excessive supervision, monitoring everything you do, being excessively critical about minor things with malicious intent. Woo, boy, listen right there. And then so it's like it's sometimes there are people who are not slick. I'm saying slick, like very passively, but
Yep.
like, ooh, girl, that dress, it look good on you. Wait a minute. So that was a slap and a kiss at the same time? You don't compliment me and slap me? You look good. And that look good on you. Like, ugh, that's ugly. But
Yeah.
you working it. Oh, wow, thank you.
Yeah. And it's better to just be quiet. You don't like it. You're trying to be slick,
Right,
trying to be sneaky. Just don't say nothing at all.
exactly.
What is the saying? If you can't say nothing nice, don't say
nothing.
nothing at all.
Shut your trap. Just shut your trap.
Oh, I'm gonna think of that. There was something that I used to say in my speaking when I would speak, that I saw fortune, and you know, from the fortune cookie, and it said, if you can't say nothing at all, it didn't. I'll think of it and I'll say it, because I used to say it all the time in my speaking engagements, and people would just laugh. So, you know, it's not just be quiet, but it's something better than that, you
Right.
know. So anyway, I'll remember.
All right. So next is relationship-centered bullying. Lord. You know, the person who, when you sit at the kitchen table at night, they got to tear you apart in little pieces. Yeah, ostracizing during meal times, activities, or forming social cliques. Lord.
This is the type of bullying that a lot of seniors do. So they're eating dinner or they're eating a meal, and there's an empty table. And this is an example that I used to use when I was talking to them. So when they were telling me they didn't bully, kids did. Oh, no, here's one example. So maybe there's two people at a table and there's another chair, nobody's sitting in, and somebody comes to sit in that chair, and the two that's sitting there don't like them or don't want them at the table. So they tell them somebody's sitting there when nobody is sitting there. And so that person walk away to look for somewhere else to sit. That is relationship-centered bullying. You just don't want them there, and you got your little clique. Me and this person, you know, we got our thing going on, and it's not. And when I say it like that, it's not a man and a woman. It can be two women or it can be two men. It's not about that at all. What it's about is we don't want you sitting here at this table with us. And it can be them doing activities, because they do activities, they do crafts and play dominoes and bingo and stuff like that. So it's the same thing. Nobody's really sitting there. You're just lying because you don't want them there. So you're excluding them. And you mentioned that too in social, or was it antisocial bullying? Same thing. You pushing people away. You don't want them. Man, bullying is something else. I didn't know until I started studying about it. So in this last one, Gene, you go ahead with it. Gene told me about this type of bullying. I didn't even know it was a thing. And when he told me about it and I looked it up and read about it, I was like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So it is self-bullying. I'm gonna let him read the definition, but I didn't know you can bully yourself, but we do it all the time.
Yep.
Self-sabotage, self-criticism. Man, we jack our own selves up before somebody else even get to us and jack us up with their words and attitudes and actions. So Gene, define self-bullying.
All right. So self-bullying is the way you talk to or about yourself, or your self-talk. You beat yourself up for making a mistake. You treat yourself in hurtful ways. You constantly put yourself down. So often in this society, we catch ourselves repeating things that are harmful as opposed to lifting ourselves up. We say, I know I wasn't good enough. I know I wasn't smart enough. Over and over again, something that you know it's not going to make you feel good. And you say it over and over again. So guess what? The more you repeat it, the more you feel it, the way it manifests in the world around you.
Yep.
To co-sign for that belief that you just keep putting out. We all have that tape roll that keeps going in our head over and over again. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Maybe it could be something that you heard from someone else, and now you took it on as a belief system for yourself. Yep. So you repeat that over and over again, and you begin to live that life, and everything in your life begins to reflect that.
Yep.
So the way we talk about ourselves, honestly, is the biggest thing. If you feed yourself love, then you will only accept love.
Right.
And you will only have relationships that reflect that love that you give to yourself. However, conversely, if you were to constantly feed yourself negative energy and negative thoughts and negative images, then you're going to only repeat that, and your life is going to reflect that as well. So again, life and death are in the power of the tongue. And the first person that kills himself with the tongue is the person who's doing the speaking.
Yep. Yep. And like he said, life and death are in the power of the tongue. What words have power? Yes, what words mean have power. So, know what you're saying. And people, this is one thing that has really been super big to me recently. And that is people repeating stuff they hear people say because it sounds cool.
Right. And don't know what they're talking about.
Don't have no idea what they're talking about. Don't have no idea how they're cursing themselves.
Man.
With the words they speak. So you just broke yourself down with something somebody else said that you think is cool, or something a whole bunch of people are saying. And it sounds cool. But what does it really mean?
Right.
What does it really mean? So that's been something that I've been correcting myself a lot on, words that I speak. And so this is going to have to, be a continual thing until I ain't going to say until I get there, but until I'm better at it.
Right.
And I'm not doing that. I'm trying to think of something. This is one thing that I hear people say. And I just said something to somebody about this in the last few days. When somebody say, how you doing? And I hear somebody say, I'm good. I've been saying it. I stopped saying it because the scriptures say, Jesus was saying, why you call me good? There's only one good. So we saying we good, but we lying because we're not good. We lying because there's only one good. And then we're lying because a lot of times we're not even feeling well. we're not feeling good. So we might be hurting. Something happened. And so we're tripping in our mind about something. And so we're saying, I'm good. But are you really? I mean, you're going through stuff in your mind, but you saying you good. So you saying one thing, but you really not experiencing that. So you're a hypocrite. You saying one thing out of your mouth, but what's going on in your heart is something totally different. So that's just an example. I mean, there's other stuff, that I've picked up and heard and say, and now I'm more like, what does that really mean? What does that word really mean? Because I'm being conscious of the power that I'm putting out there, over other people, words that I'm speaking over other people, and words that I'm speaking over myself out of my mouth to come back to me.
Right.
And now I don't want it. So,
Yep.
so this is a new work that I've been doing in me. And, it's just because words have power. I want to have good power, over me. And authority over the words that I'm speaking to manifest what's really good for me, what's beneficial, what's edifying to me and for me, to help me become a productive person in my mind, and my mouth and my heart, what's, they lining up, what I'm not speaking lies, okay, I went there. So
I want to say that we have to understand that, and it's very important to be cognizant, extremely cognizant about the words that we use, because our words either build or destroy our world.
Yep.
Also, something that we have to realize, and I tell this to people all the time, and Bruce Lee actually said, I'm going to paraphrase this statement, but he said, don't even speak about yourself, even in joking, because the subconscious mind does not realize or understand the difference, because to the subconscious mind, there is no difference. If you say something negative about yourself, even in joking, you repeat it over and over again, that creates your reality. So I tell people all the time, hey, man, I ain't that smart. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
You have the ability to gain knowledge.
Yep.
A person being smart is just about them having a certain amount of information and knowledge, so you can get knowledge. You don't have to be stupid because you don't know something.
Right.
Everyone's ignorant to something. There's a difference between
Exactly
and stupid.
Yep.
Stupid is lacking the ability to absorb and regurgitate information. And
right.
That's,
and
ignorance is the lack of information.
Thank you.
And that's just it.
Yes, that's it. That's all.
That's all. So go get it.
Right. Exactly.
We're in the information age. You can Google everything.
Right.
You're on Wikipedia, partner.
Yeah, when I learned that, because ignorant, that word sounds bad. But when I learned what it meant, I was like, that just simply means I don't have knowledge about that particular thing.
Right.
So it's okay. It's not that I'm stupid, or it's not that I'm dumb. Right. I can get the information. I can find it. I can investigate. I love to investigate. All right, Gene, preach out. So, yeah, words really have power, and I've been really focused on words a lot recently. So, because I want to fix what's broke, I want help getting fixed on what's broke. I don't want to knock myself down with words and things that I say and do to myself, and I definitely don't want to do it to other people. Gene is really Sherlock Holmes, a detective solving problems.
Lord. Hey, it's right there. You just walk by it. All you got to do is look at it, pick it up, and read.
Yep.
It's not difficult.
So now we want to talk about the effects of bullying. We told you the different types of bullying. So now we want to talk about how bullying affects you. You may experience headaches, anxiety, depression, different illnesses, and health complications, increased sadness and loneliness, eating disorders, and a change in eating patterns. Just think about it. When you are feeling low, sometimes you don't even eat. That's a change in eating patterns. I mean, you may be eating 3 meals a day, but you knocked it down to 2 or 1 because I just don't feel like eating. I used to do that all the time when I was younger. And, I mean, I don't do that anymore, but I mean, I didn't know why I was doing that. I just knew I didn't have an appetite. And so anyway, you may develop disorders, social, mental, and emotional, or experience social and emotional distress. You may experience low self esteem, become socially withdrawn, have suicidal thoughts, become violent, commit suicide or homicide. You may have difficulty sleeping, feel rejected, become fearful, and have a loss of interest in activities that you once were interested in. So the effects of bullying is not limited to what I just shared. These are just some of the things that you experience when you are being bullied. So also, when I look at the effects of bullying, what I think about is if I'm bullying somebody, these are things that I make them feel. And I don't like that thought. I don't like feeling that because somebody is bullying me. And I don't like making the thought of making somebody else feel that way. Narcissists, as Jean mentioned earlier, narcissists don't care. They blame everything as everybody else's fault, not theirs, not the narcissist. And so they don't care how they make you feel. So they might know you feel all of this stuff, but I don't care. I want things my way. I want control, and it's going to be done my way or else. I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to be an emotional bully. So I'm just saying, listen, bullying really hurts and harms the person on the other end. They experience all kind of stuff that they don't have to experience because you chose to be in control, whoever the bully is. So the victim is suffering because of what you're doing to them. So now we want to talk about how can I improve my emotional health? We've talked a lot, like we said earlier, about emotions, emotional intelligence. And so, Jean, go ahead with this part. How can I improve my emotional health?
All right. Emotional health is more of a process than a goal. And chances are you are already doing some things that help strengthen your emotional health. As you go through these tips, remember that emotional health isn't about always being in a good mood. It's about equipping yourself to deal with the good, the bad, and everything in between. So number one, you want to practice emotional regulation. Emotions can and sometimes will get the best of you, but learning coping strategies to temper them can help you respond instead of reacting to upsetting situations. So coping strategies can include meditation, journaling, listening to music, talking to a therapist or a friend, listening to music, reading a book, or listening to a motivational or inspirational speaker. Number two, one of my favorites, if you're overwhelmed with stress at home or at work, getting regular exercise can feel impossible. But taking the time for physical activity can nourish both your emotional and physical health. Aim to set aside 30 minutes a day for some kind of physical activity. If you're short on time, find 10 or 15-minute chunks of time to go for a quick walk. Or you could break it up into 2 or 3. Do, a 10-minute workout at the start of the day, 10-minute workout during the middle of the day, and 10 minutes at the end. That's 30 minutes consecutively. And then you've raised your metabolism, and you've also raised those feel-good endorphins that help you coast through the day. You can deal with stuff a little better because I done got a little stress off me. So now I can, okay. Also, you know what? Listen, I don't even want to study right now, I don't even see you right now. I'm good. I did 100 push-ups, and you are not worth my energy.
Or taking that energy from me. Mark said, stop talking about Trump that way. And then he said he is the ultimate bully. Yeah. But listen, Gene,
Yeah.
thank you for saying what you just said. Because, I used to walk a lot.
Right.
And it's a challenge now. I find all kind of excuses. And it's just simply walking. Something that you do normally. So for you to say you can break it up in 10-minute chunks, 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, 10 in the evening. I love that. Now, spank my hand, my own self, if I don't take 10 minutes to do something,
Right.
even if it stretches in the morning, just come on now. I mean, that just hit home for me, blood. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm loving that. Okay, I'm getting it together. I'm getting it together.
And at
I like that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we can't help anyone if we don't help ourselves first.
Yeah.
And if you if you have not exercised, you have to understand that exercise is consciously moving energy from one state of being to another. It's alchemy. So when you exercise, you take yourself from a stiff being to a more fluid, more flexible, and stronger being. So you just took something, it's not necessarily negative, but you improved on yourself. And then you also help your body produce those feel-good endorphins that give you motivation to keep pushing throughout the day. And that's what you need.
I love that. I love that because some changes has happened in my body that I do not like. And I'm like, why can't I get this together? So that just helped me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 30 minutes is 30 minutes.
Right. However you get it.
Yeah. So thank you. I really appreciate that. So are we at Strength and Social number 3?
Yes.
You want to go?
Yes. All right. So number 3, you should strengthen social connections. Your links to others can have very powerful effects on your emotional and physical health. Staying connected with loved ones can provide a buffer when you're going through challenges. Foster these connections by spending time with close friends and family, either in person or over the phone. All right, number 4, being mindful.
Beverly said that helped her too, but Mark said, I don't have to exercise for an hour. Woo!
Right.
Yeah, because
30 minutes is definitely a good start.
Yeah, but Mark, that's hard, ain't it? I mean, just to think about that, to go from nothing to a whole hour.
Yeah, no.
Man.
Yeah,
so to go from so to go from you just freed me, brother. I'm so serious.
Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, you are free at last.
Mark said increments. I love that. I do too. And Mark, if we don't do that, shame on us.
So something I tell my clients all the time is like, I even do like 10-minute sessions with clients that are just starting, and I know that they don't have a lot of history with exercise.
Yeah.
You give them 5 to 10 minute spurts.
Yeah.
They have to build up the endurance and the strength and the discipline. And the more you do it, and you build up those endorphins, the more you want it. It's like a runner's high or a workout high or something like that over and over again. And you just increase it over time. So you start with 5 minutes, then go to 10, and maybe 15, and then 20, or break it up. 10-minute increments or whatever works. There are so many workouts out there that start you off small and build you up. Just start where you are. Don't overwhelm yourself, because that's what a lot of people do. I gotta work out an hour. No, you don't. You haven't worked out in 4-5 years. Listen, man, 10 minutes is good for you. 10 minutes, 3-4 days a week. Come on now.
Yeah.
let's be wise. Let's not overwhelm.
Right. That's super good. Now.
No, Mark, they are not exercise or workouts. The workout. This is only a workout for that hand. What about the rest of your body, sir?
So I want you to stop because, like I said, this really freed me. So now, since you have that knowledge, what I want you to share is how exercising your body can get your mind right or renew your mind, refocus your mind as it pertains to bullying. How can that help you? I know I just put you on the spot, but I know you got the answer.
Yeah, it's all good. So first thing is a lot of times the reason why we endure or to take people bullying us because we have a lack of self-esteem. The more you exercise, you build self-esteem. The more you do it, you get stronger. You become more in tune with your mind and body connection, and that makes you less susceptible and less vulnerable for people who bully you. Because guess what? They have a deficiency, and they see something in you that they don't have, and that's why they bully. Not only does it increase your confidence, it increases your strength, your flexibility, your cardiovascular health, and also, again, those feel-good endorphins. It creates those neurosynaptic connections in the brain that help you think and do things differently. So you create a whole new self, in essence, by exercising and taking conscious control of your life through physical activity.
Yep.
And
So
then you eat right, and you eat right too. See, because that's the big thing. 85% of the equation is your nutrition. 90% of your immune system or more is in your digestive tract. So if you don't eat good food, then you're only creating a septic tank physically within your body, which creates that in your mind. This is one part. This is one brain in the body. This is another one. Two different brains. And
wow.
in order to make this brain better, you got to feed this brain better. You know what I'm saying? They work
Right.
in concert with each other. Everything is interconnected.
So if we're not filling our stomachs, then we're not. Shoot, I just lost my train of thought. We're abusing our body for one, but we're not giving our stomachs the fuel that it needs to guide us and to help us go energy wise to do what needs to be done. We just don't have the energy because we didn't feed our stomachs. We didn't put nothing in our stomach to
the right thing, the right fuel. It's like going out and putting, liquefying trash and putting in your car and then expecting your car to operate at optimal levels.
Yeah.
You go to your car and you put the high grade of gas, whatever you can handle, whatever it can handle. You put that in there, and then your car operates at highest levels. But if you put
Mark, you are so
in your car is going to crunk out on you up the block.
Yeah.
So you got to be wise about the food that you put in. And also you have to understand that the food that we eat also helps regulate or release certain chemicals in the body. If you're not eating right, then it's going to create and secrete negative chemicals and whatnot into the body, which cause long-term mental health disorders, physical health disorders, emotional health disorders. So everything works in concert. The way you eat, the way you exercise, the way you think, they all contribute to who you are as a person. So we have to be cognizant of not only what we, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, even the way you sleep. Because rest helps replenish the mind and the body. I forgot what I was going to say now on that back end. But yeah, it's just important to make sure that you exercise and be very cognizant, very conscious of what you are consuming. That's what I was going to talk about. Consuming physically with food, the energy that you have around you with people, the things you watch on social media, the movies that you watch, the books that you're reading, so on and so forth. It's very important to be very cognizant because everything that you digest, mind, body, and soul, affects how you operate in the life that you live.
Yep. Thank you. Mark said Gene is better than the gas station. He is giving great fuel for the audience. He is. I want to. So y'all, next week we're at the close to the end of the show, and I want to read a poem that I wrote. So when we come back next week, we will talk more about how we can improve our emotional health. And so we might go back over because we only went over a few of these. So we may recap these, or we'll at least recap these. But we'll go back to this next week. So I'm gonna read this poem, and this poem, this is an anthology that I'm an author in. There was 20 authors, and including me. And so this book anthology was written after George Floyd was killed. Well, George Floyd was physically bullied. So how fitting for me to read this poem. So the name of it is My Life. While I sit and wonder about what's next, my mind goes all over the place. I have numerous thoughts, hurts, feelings of confusion, and the thought of being overwhelmed with what I see and hear consumes my soul. It gnaws at me day and night. How can someone be so evil? How can someone do so much harm to someone that strives to breathe just as you do? How can you choose whether someone lives or dies at the mercy of your hands? Who are you to decide on my life, how I should live it, or whether it should be lived or not? Don't leave me at the mercy of someone else's hands, God, I pray. God, I pray to live my life as you designed. I can only do life on this earth as you designed if you reach out with your hand and make those things happen in my life that you created so preciously just for me. You created certain things for my pleasure. You created me for your pleasure. Help me not disappoint you with my life. Keep the enemy and his cohorts away from me. Please don't allow the enemy to oppress me or bring me back down to their level of ignorance and injustice. Only you can save me and keep me from the hands of the enemy. I trust you with my life. After all, you gave it to me in the first place. So this goes, like I said, goes right along with bullying. It was physical bullying involved, which took the life of George Floyd. But when we're bullied, we have to do things. I mean, and we just discussed in this whole show, the last part of the show, things to do to help us get that confidence that we need, get that energy that we need to be able to move out of the thoughts and the I'm gonna say the bondage of the hands of the bullies, to move into a better place in our mind, because our minds are in bondage when we're being bullied and we're allowing it and don't know how to get out. We're like in a prison and can't get out. We're locked up. So those are some of the stuff that we shared at the end after we shared about the types of bullying, are things that we can do for ourselves. Gene, any last words for the audience?
Yeah, just understand that it's important to put yourself first. In order to operate at optimal levels, you have to give yourself the first batch of love that you get every day. It's you first, because you can't give from an empty vessel.
Yep.
Right? So self-love is first. No negative self-talk, because you don't deserve it. You deserve to speaking to yourself things that edify and build you up, so you can grow and become the best version of yourself that you can be. So I send you love. I know you do too.
Yep, I do. And I love that. And I'm not going to add anything else because you just said it all. So we thank you for being a part of the show. Excuse me. We thank you for being a part of the show. We are so grateful to be able to provide this information and to share tools and tips to help you navigate through the wiles of the hands of evil people and bullies. I had to add the bullies part. So
back in.
Right. So take care. Thanks again for being here. We send you peace. We send you love, lots of love, lots of love, lots of love, lots of love. And we send you happiness. We say, stay happy, be joyful, that's the best thing for you. Take care. Bye for now. See you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time right here. Take care.